Hi everyone, Pat from Aeroflow Performance, and today I'm going to introduce you to a bit of a revision, some updates that we've done with our fuel rails. We're always trying to sort of have the best product in the market at the most competitive price and find a great balance between those things. So the fuel rails that we have in our range are no exception, and we've gone back and we've decided to update and revise a couple of the older designs that we have. So today I'm going to show you through those designs, the models that we're working on at the moment, and some of the key features that you'll find within those fuel rail kits. Okay, so probably one of our most popular and the most commonly used rail kits that we've had over the years is the GM LS motor. So whether it's LS1, LS2, LS3, 76, 77, whatever the variation may be, we've had rails for it. Now, previously we've had separate rails for the LS1, LS6, cathedral port style earlier Gen 3 manifolds, and then we had a separate unit for the LS3 style L76, L77 Gen 4 style manifolds, which run the short injector, as you can see fitted to this rail here. One thing that we've done is we've basically brought those two designs together. So we have this brand new extrusion, this billet CNC'd rail that we've got here, as you can see in the red anodizing, and we've got these little billet feet now, rather than the steel mounting straps or bars that we used to have. These little billet feet actually allow us to, with the dual bolt pattern here and the step design, we can actually run this same rail on either the Gen 3 or the Gen 4 manifolds. This has also allowed us to make the rails a lot more secure, so there's not as much movement available. And then, with being the rail is a CNC milled unit, we've actually been able to change the injector mounting position here as well. So we've been able to improve that injector position, which holds these injectors nice and tight. They're not wiggling around. The angle is perfect on them, so when you secure it down, that's exactly where it needs to be. So in addition to those revisions, we've also carried over a couple of things as well. So we've got the large bore centre of the fuel rail, which allows for obviously quite a lot of fuel delivery, and then a -8 ORB thread that's cut into the end. So that allows you to adapt to whatever size line that you're going. If you're sticking with, say, a -6, which is similar to a factory hard line of 3/8, or you can go to the -8. You can potentially step up to a -10 line, feed line if you like, and then as a result you can take advantage of this third input or outlet that we've machined into the bottom here. So now we've got obviously the 8 ORBs on either end, and then we've added the third one here. So you can use that for a return, you can use that for a feed, or you can just block it off simply if you're going to do the traditional way of in one end, out the other, or a deadhead system even, where you're just going to have it in one end of the rail. So we've also added this nice new touch across the side of the rails here on the LS units. So that's laser etched and then CNC finish machined on there. So a nice little look, available in obviously the red anodized, silver anodized, black and blue anodizing. And all of the anodizing on the fuel rails at the moment it's double anodized and hard anodized. So that gives you premium protection against any corrosive fuels, so such as E85 or methanol or something similar, a race style fuel that's not as friendly to aluminium components, such as these rails. That hard anodizing is going to protect that for the life of the rail. Right, so we've covered the LS rails. Moving on to some of your import or JDM stuff. We've got the RB fuel rail here. and then also the 2J fuel rails. So again, we've changed over to a billet mount. As you can see on the 2J one here, we've got the similar style of feet. So we've also added, rather than the -8 ORB ends, we've also got the inlet and outlet underneath. So that allows for different inlet manifold designs, and also the way that you want to run your fuel system, whether it's return style or deadhead, or if you want the inputs to come in underneath and then the outlet to come out here. Also, if you've got an extreme engine, so a lot of horsepower, and you have a great deal of fuel required, but you're only running one rail, you could effectively run 3 inlets for the fuel feed, and then a single outlet if you need a high amount of fuel delivery and also high fuel pressure. So the options are all there basically. It lets you do whatever it is that you need to do. And then the RB, we've only got the one on the side here as an outlet, because that's really what's allowed with the design of the intake manifolds on the RB engine. As you can see, there's the billet feet, which we've got just mocked up here on the silver unit for the RB. So again, all of these things have really been refined. We've really worked down on making sure that this fuel rail is nice and secure, and the fit and finish is a lot better than our previous older designs. So the next one that we've made a revision on is the Series 6 and up 13B rotary fuel rails. As you can see, there's a new design to here, nice tapered finish. We've also increased the inlets to the 8 ORB, which previously, and a lot of the others in the market, are a -6. Which, as we know, when you've got a 13B, a twin rotor, and you're starting to make some serious power, -6 just isn't enough fuel delivery for those. So that features on the primary rail and the secondary rail, as you can see there. We've got the mounting plates and all the billet feet and hardware to suit the mounting. Again, available in black, hard anodized, blue, red, and silver. We also have the Series 4 and 5 13B version of this coming as well, so slightly different mounting and design on that one. That will be coming in the next few months. Moving on to the last one that we've got as an example here, this is actually our new 4G63, so Evo 429 fuel rail. This is actually one that we've really stepped it up for the guys that are making big horsepower. It's not unheard of to see 4G63s making north of 800, 900, 1,000 horsepower with modern technology and turbochargers and fuel systems and whatnot. So we thought the rail should probably be able to keep up with that. So we've got the same extruded billet unit, that's CNC machine. Then we've added a -10 ORB inlet on either end and also in the center as well. So there's no shortage of fuel feed with this rail. The rail will not be a restriction in any way. And not sure if you can see it, but in the bore itself, the bore is as large as the thread. So any fitting that you put in here, the internal diameter of a -10 fitting is smaller than the bore of the rail, so that's not going to be a restriction. And that's reflected across all of the rails as well. So the bore inside of the rails is larger than the fitting that you'll be able to put into the end of it. So if you're going to run a -8 fuel rail, -8 fuel line, or a -10 fuel line, for example, the rail will not be a restriction in that sense. With the Evos, there is no mounting feet. There's just these points here where the rail mounts directly to the intake manifold. So that's all good to go. Nice and simple thing, but we've just stepped it up a little bit to support those guys chasing every last sort of bit of horsepower there. All right, guys, we're really proud of these revisions that we've made to the fuel rail designs in our lineup. Now that you know all about those changes, you can check them out at your local distributor, quality retail outlet, or jump online at aeroflowperformance.com.